Behold, evil Lady Decade! Anyway, why do men of culture love Juri so much? In the heart-pounding world of Street Fighter, where fists fly like lightning and combatants possess unimaginable power, for years the women from these games have captivated the imagination through their incredible fighting skills and heroic feminine charm. Overall, these ladies have brought elegance and gracious allure to their franchise. But then we have Juri, a character whom beauty expert and professional narcissist Vega described as the personification of evil beauty incarnate, but lacking delicacy. However, despite the fact that she is an abusive oddball who would stamp on your face as soon as look at you, this hasn't stopped her from becoming one of the most desirable female characters in the brand's history, with arguably more interest circulating around her these days than even the legendary Cammy White and Chun-Li. So with that said, join me today as we look back and celebrate everything there is to know about this brutal baddie. I am Lady Decade, and this is Ladies Through the Decades, the ultimate Juri retrospective. On this channel, I've extensively explored Chun-Li's journey, spanning from her modest origins to her current narrative within Street Fighter 6. Today we're extending our exploration on the lore of the franchise by delving deep into the storyline and video game history of none other than the Korean Taekwondo butt-kicking bad girl Juri Han. Juri is an undeniably captivating character, so accompanying me as I explore the enigmatic world of this purple-clad goth mummy. In 2010, Capcom brought to us the electrifying introduction of Juri, with her debuting in Super Street Fighter IV, an update to 2008's Street Fighter IV. Within the game's main narrative, she assumed the role as one of the game's most important antagonists, functioning as a henchwoman to the big boss Seth. Her introduction marked a significant milestone in the Street Fighter universe as she became the franchise's very first female villain, or as they say in the wrestling world, heel character. In many respects, she was cast as the antithesis to Chun-Li, a sadistic enforcer under the employment of the nefarious Sin organization, which served as Chun-Li's principal adversary in her relentless battle against criminal forces. Juri's unique role in the narrative presented her with substantial shoes to fill, especially considering Chun-Li's iconic status within the Street Fighter lore. But the parallels between Chun-Li and Juri don't stop there. Both women tragically lost their parents to the notorious and persistently alive M. Bison, a man with a bougie hat and an unsettling obsession for world domination. Their shared loss fueled an unwavering desire for revenge against this psycho power-wielding dictator. While Chun-Li's quest for vengeance led her down a path of righteousness and integrity, Juri took a decidedly darker route and embraced her evil inclinations. A beautiful evil, but evil nonetheless. Initially, there was a suggestion that Juri might evolve into a more sympathetic character entangled in a tragic love story and simply caught up with the wrong crowd. However, this notion was promptly dismissed by Capcom executive Yoshinori Ono, who believed that Juri's character needed to possess a genuine malevolence at her core for her to be truly impactful. Ono's decision was spot on. After all, what's the point of introducing the first ever female villain if you don't fully commit to the role? Juri wasn't merely the inaugural female heel character, she also marked a significant milestone as the first ever Korean character to grace the world of Street Fighter. This momentous addition came in response to the franchise's burgeoning popularity in Korea, where devoted fans ardently advocated for representation in their beloved fighting game series. The call for a female Korean character was particularly vocal, and even Capcom's own Korea branch weighed in on the matter, putting forth a compelling case to Yoshinori Ono. In response to this demand, Ono and his design team embarked on the mission to create a Korean character that would resonate with the gaming community. In this regard, Capcom found itself somewhat catching up to its competitors in the fighting game arena. SNK and Namco, prominent rivals in the genre, had already ventured into the Korean character territory several years earlier, including Korean fighters in their Fatal Fury and Tekken series respectively. Nonetheless, the creative process behind Juri's character was a demanding and meticulous endeavour, reportedly involving the contemplation of approximately 400 to 500 distinct designs before one finally received the green light. The brainstorming sessions produced a kaleidoscope of Juri variations, encompassing a broad spectrum from chunky to skinny and anything from ice skaters to MMA fighters. Ultimately, the chosen design depicted our formidable skank donning a striking ensemble featuring a black and purple chest plate fastened with a spider-inspired motif on her back, accentuated by 8 spider leg-shaped straps. Her attire was completed with purple fingerless gloves, voluminous trousers with an eye-catching crotch cutout revealing her tights, and her signature foot wraps. Building on this, a bold statement was made with her garish bright pink fingernails and toenails, symbolic of her rebellious spirit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I can completely understand why so many people found her outrageously sexy. Vega is right, she is evil beauty incarnate. Capcom's decision makers opted to accentuate Juri's sultry and feminine aspects, resulting in a character who embraced a more overtly sexualized image compared to previous female characters in the series. This shift in design and demeanor raises questions about the appropriateness of such provocative characters in games often marketed towards younger audiences. As for the verdict on this matter, if Street Fighter VI is anything to go by, the jury has ruled in her favour. Moreover, Juri's list of pioneering feats extends even further, as she stands as the inaugural Taekwondo practitioner in the Street Fighter series. This revelation might raise eyebrows considering the extensive array of characters already graced on the franchise, each representing various martial arts forms, some more whimsical than others. I mean, who would have thought that mastering yoga stretches would lead to spitting fireballs and teleportation? But let's not get sidetracked. Taekwondo is a flashy and widely recognised martial art, incorporates dynamic high kicks, intricate spinning techniques and conventional punches and low kicks. It was a natural choice for Juri, hailing from her homeland, Korea. In recent years, Taekwondo has proven its effectiveness in real-world combat, with several MMA fighters successfully integrating its techniques into their fighting repertoires. Notable champions like Valentina Shevchenko, Anthony Pettis and Baz Rutten have relied heavily on this style. Consequently, Juri's offense predominantly revolves around her kicking prowess, with only a handful of hand strikes in her repertoire. This unique combination of moves and specials sets her apart, akin to fellow heel character Balrog and the distinguished gentleman and Street Fighter III alumnus Dudley, who primarily employs boxing techniques. Lacking projectiles and long-range attacks, Juri thrives in close quarters combat, with her menacing dive kicks combo makes her a formidable, albeit occasionally frustrating for opponents forced to be reckoned with, even at a distance. Juri is very good at kicking people in the face. Furthermore, Juri's attire is a meticulously stylized rendition of a traditional Taekwondo garment. The design aims to mimic the graceful movements of a Taekwondo practitioner during combat, a hallmark of Capcom's commitment to faithfully representing various martial arts in the Street Fighter series. Remarkably, this attention to detail, historical accuracy, and integrity often surpass expectations in the realm of this fantastical and cartoonish fighting game universe. Regarding her personality, Juri emerges as a stark contrast to the primary female characters encountered thus far. She embodies ruthless determination and an absence of compassion, seizing every opportunity to demonstrate her cruelty. Juri operates devoid of honour. Her driving force is centred on vengeance and the infliction of pain rather than the conventional thrill of competition. She revels in combat, growing infuriated when denied the chance to engage in a brutal brawl, driven by her insatiable desire to torment her opponents. This penchant for brutality, combined with her fiery and unpredictable temper, renders her exceptionally perilous, whether serving as a Sin operative or competing in the Street Fighter arena. Calculated and cunning to an extreme degree, she harbours no qualms about betraying her associates. In the words of her superior Seth, She respects no laws, no morality. She does whatever it takes to achieve her goals and quench her limitless thirst. A rather poetic description, wouldn't you say? Despite her predominantly unscrupulous and ruthless demeanour, Juri has occasionally displayed fleeting moments of compassion. For instance, in the Super Street Fighter 4 animated movie, she spared the life of a young boy. Beyond her exceptional martial arts skills and cunning nature, what truly makes Juri a formidable adversary is the formidable device known as the Feng Shui engine. Implanted into her left eye, this powerful device significantly enhances her speed, strength and combat abilities, pushing them to nearly superhuman levels. Sin implanted this device after Juri lost her left eye many years prior, a casualty of a gunshot from Shadaloo henchmen during their ill-fated attempt to abduct her father. Our journey into Juri's Super Street Fighter 4 story commences with a cryptic phone call that she receives from an unidentified caller who seems to be either Seth or a fellow Sin operative. The message conveys news of an upcoming tournament, and upon learning that the competition has no restrictions, Juri's sadistic tendencies come to the fore. After all, she isn't going to give up an opportunity to stamp on someone's face. As she effortlessly smashed her way through the early rounds, leaving her opponents in her malevolent wake, the plot thickens when she faces off against her arch nemesis, M. Bison, in the semi-finals. With a sly quip, Juri remarks, "I was really planning on saving the main course for last," before gleefully declaring her intention to devour him anyway. Despite Bison's formidable might, Juri manages to prevail, setting the stage for her ultimate showdown with the mastermind, Seth. After defeating the Silver Surfer lookalike, Juri's completion screen reveals her cunning stratagem. The plan to oust Seth and assume leadership of Sin, pitting the villains against each other while she takes control. Her craftiness knows no bounds. With ruthless authority, she assumes the role of judge, jury, and executioner, mercilessly delivering a bone-crushing stomp to Seth's chest, obliterating his tandem engine, ostensibly ending his life. In a fittingly macabre conclusion, she quotes Megadeth, bidding him to rust in peace. What an absolute baddie. Juri swiftly captured the hearts of fans worldwide following her inaugural appearance, and there was an overwhelming demand to see her return in the following main game installment. Interestingly, her popularity soared primarily in Japan and the West, while Korean audiences did not embrace her as enthusiastically as expected. Nonetheless, it was a foregone conclusion that she would be included in Street Fighter V thanks to the resounding support from fans. She became a part of the inaugural season of downloadable characters, making her highly anticipated return to the series in July 2016. Juri's signature attire underwent a sleek transformation, featuring a collared bodysuit with an open front while restraining her distinctive purple and black colour scheme. Rather interestingly, her story within Street Fighter V takes a dramatic turn. It commences with a surprise ambush by the cunning Bison, who seizes the opportunity to snatch the Feng Shui engine right from her eye socket using his psycho power. It is a heinous act indeed, but one that would significantly change Juri's appearance as she adopts the iconic eye patch that has since become synonymous with her character. With determination, Juri heads to the remnants of the Sin laboratories, endeavouring to construct a new eye, resulting in the creation of the Feng Shui Alpha. During her quest, she encounters Colleen, disguised as Helen, who offers to join forces in the battle against Shadaloo. Juri initially declines the proposition, but subsequently crosses paths with Balrog, whom she deems the perfect candidate to test her new eye's capabilities in combat on. Following a battle with the Mike Tyson-inspired fighter, Sea Viper appears and conveys that Juri's evasion of arrest is due to her not being the true threat, with the ominous menace emanating from Shadaloo. This revelation prompts Juri to venture to the heart of Shadaloo's base to unravel the mysteries at play. There she encounters the eccentric-looking Fang. After a tense encounter where Fang deploys his unnerving poison clouds, Juri reluctantly reaches out to Helen, agreeing to join forces against the malevolent Shadaloo organization and its formidable adversaries. Juri's involvement in the Street Fighter V narrative extended far beyond her primary story arcs. She was a whirlwind of activity during this period, immersing herself in compelling storylines. Notably, she played a significant role in the expansive and surprisingly free DLC story expansion, A Shadow Falls. Here, Juri aligns herself with Charlie Nash and Helen in a plot to overthrow the oppressive Shadaloo organization. This adventure takes her to Brazil, where she commandeers a formidable motorcycle and doesn't hesitate to label Vega as a pervert, an accusation many might find entirely accurate. After all, she's not wrong. That Shao scene from the movie shows that he cannot be trusted. Juri's presence didn't stop there. She also appeared in the main story arcs of Cammy, Guile, Abigail and Seth, with a particularly amusing moment unfolding in Abigail's story where he expresses dissatisfaction with feeling flat. This declaration sparks a humorous misunderstanding between the two, with Juri mistakenly believing that Abigail has accused her of being flat-chested, a comical twist in an otherwise action-packed narrative. As time passed by, we would once again get to see Juri announced to appear in a mainline Street Fighter game at EVO 2022. Here, fans were treated to an exciting trailer shedding more light on the lineup of fighters set to grace Street Fighter 6. The crowd erupted with enthusiasm as she made her dramatic return. The notorious bad girl of the Street Fighter franchise re-emerged, riding a motorcycle and boasting a more lifelike appearance than ever before. This enigmatic, spider-loving, goth-inspired fighter unleashed a devastating array of moves, leaving newcomer Jamie in complete disarray. What's more, the 126-pound fighter even pulled out her light pink cat-shaped mobile phone to share her victory triumphantly on social media. Street Fighter VI's official website paints Juri as a sadistic thrill-seeker, deriving immense pleasure from the suffering of her opponents. Her behaviour in battle against Jamie certainly reflects this penchant for humiliation. In Street Fighter VI, the latest instalment in the series, she has already settled her score with M. Bison, so is no longer driven by that motivation, and she seems to have drifted into a gloomy haze. Keen-eyed observers noticed changes in Juri's appearance, with her fringe taking on a different style in the trailer. Notably, she added a pink highlight to the left side of her hair, accentuating her rebellious persona. But her transformation wasn't limited to her hair, oh no. Juri now sported a fusion of her signature outfit and casual attire from her debut in Super Street Fighter 4. Debuting alongside newcomer Kimberly in a Street Fighter 6 trailer, Juri's overtly sexualized appearance generated conversations among the public and gaming media. Many speculated that her updated look and moveset were crafted to cater to a specific demographic's preferences. The Verge, for instance, remarked that Juri seemed a bit edgier than Kimberly, stomping all over her enemies in bare feet, emphasised in ways that would make Bob Odenkirk click like. It's always intriguing when companies embrace the player's desires for their characters. Destructoid.com's senior editor Chris Moyes also weighed in on this fierce fighter's bold design choices, suggesting that Capcom was fully aware of the appeal of including a little foot action. He humorously noted that Capcom had put an astonishing level of detail into rendering Juri's souls, stating, "Yeah, I'm all for it, and you can at me, I don't give a darn." Street Fighter 6, written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. When the game finally arrived, Juri found herself lost in bitter memories of her intense loathing for M. Bison and the eventual collapse of Shadaloo. She dwells on the relentless determination that fueled her actions to seek revenge, a relentless drive that pushed her to her extremes. However, when Bison's demise appeared certain and Shadaloo crumbled, she couldn't find the satisfaction she had longed for. It gnawed at her, primarily because she hadn't been the one to deliver the final fatal blow. Her incapability to embrace happiness and the apparent achievement of her goal left her exasperated. In her frustration, she embarks on a quest to uncover more information, driven by an insatiable need to understand what truly happened. It becomes apparent that Chun-Li's conversations with Juri in the game take an unexpected turn. Chun-Li ponders why Juri persisted in her pursuit of malevolent and chaotic endeavours and cannot fathom why Juri hasn't sought solace or a change of course. Juri counters this by asking why Chun-Li had chosen retirement after Bison's demise. She subtly implied that Chun-Li was a hypocrite, only acting as an agent until her personal vendetta had been fulfilled. Let's be fair, she kind of has a point, you know. Chun-Li quickly fires back, asserting that if revenge was the sole motivation for Juri, she wouldn't continue down such a dark path. She insinuates that Juri was searching for something she couldn't quite identify. Chun-Li urges Juri to reconcile with her past transgressions, holding on to a glimmer of hope for her redemption. She tells Juri, in a way, you too are one of Bison's victims, drawing a parallel between them. Juri, with her characteristic laughter, brushes off Chun-Li's words, as she often does. She playfully challenges Chun-Li to lecture her harder if she truly wishes to make an impact on her wayward path. However, later Juri can be observed perched on her motorcycle, deep in contemplation about Chun-Li's words. The empathy and encouragement conveyed by Chun-Li, referring to her as another one of Bison's victims, appeared to be gradually breaking through to her. Despite her resistance, Juri couldn't help but dismiss these emotions, muttering to herself that her growing connection to Chun-Li was something she resented deeply. We also come across Juri in the game's World Tour mode, with Juri appearing as one of the available masters to learn from. Choosing to train with Juri will grant you the opportunity to absorb the nuances of her unique fighting style. Furthermore, as you continue to earn her trust, Juri will gradually unveil more details about her personal history. She'll share insights about her past, including her connection with Sea Viper, her mission to dismantle Shadaloo, recollections from her childhood, and her evolving relationship with Cammy. In addition to her involvement in Street Fighter VI, Juri has ventured into the realm of crossover games. One notable instance occurred in 2012's Street Fighter Cross Tekken, where she formed an unexpected alliance with Bison, accepting his request to collaborate in seizing control of the Pandora box. As one might anticipate, their partnership culminated predictably, with both heels turning on each other, reminiscent of the iconic Rocky vs Apollo showdown freeze frame at the end of Rocky 3. That same year, Juri appeared in another Namco crossover title, this time on the Nintendo 3DS, titled Project X Zone. Initially part of a rival unit alongside Seth, she transitioned to the hero unit midway through the game, albeit without a clear storyline explanation. The sequel, Project X Zone 2, released 3 years later, featured Juri again as a member of the rival unit, forming an unusual pairing with Bison. The reasons behind her alignment with her nemesis remained undisclosed, and it's worth noting that these games exist outside the canonical Street Fighter universe. Juri also appeared in the 2017 digital collectible card game Shadowverse, where she shared the stage with Bison and Cammy. Shadowverse, a free-to-download mobile game developed by Psy Games using the Unity engine, achieved remarkable success, reportedly accumulating $100 million in revenue during its first year. The game also gave rise to multiple animated spin-off series, cementing its position as a notable addition to Juri's crossover adventures. As for what the future holds for this enigmatic Korean martial artist, it remains uncertain, but one thing is for certain. She isn't going to tell a loser like you. Anyway, if you enjoyed this one, subscribe like a little bitch, and do as I say, and check out my Chun-Li video.